I'd like to introduce my colleague, Supervisor Robert Levingood, to talk about what we're doing to open as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's been our day and the county days and my peers that we focus on reopening. We focus on reopening safely, and we allow our communities to move forward. We've continued to advocate at the state level. We were joined out of the high desert by Senator Wilkes, Senators Grove, and Assemblyman Obernolte, but to advocate to the state that we reopen. We need all of our electeds throughout San Bernardino County to join us in requesting to the state of looking at the hard science to open our county back up. When we look at the fact that 19 bipartisan electeds came together to advocate for opening theme parks to the governor, but we're not advocating for churches, we're not advocating for schools, and we're not advocating for small business or youth programs, all with hard science to show that they're not in any form a threat. If we look at our underserved communities, I ask, where are the advocates today? Where are they not demanding that people that, and I say that youth that are already a year behind in education are not being addressed and demanded that those institutions are back open, engaging those and helping those families. That's a critical issue that we should all be working towards. And we're the largest geographic county in the United States. 10 of our areas would either be in yellow or orange, and only one, which we're going to have to ask for a different report on, shows that it would be in purple. So we're going to continue to respectfully ask the state to look at the hard science. We're going to ask those in our community to deliver their services and represent their constituents in opening up schools, churches, and small businesses in a responsible way. Our economy can no longer be suppressed. Our children need equitable access to education, and that fairly. Our families need to return to work and strive. And I'll finish back with education. That Director Redford of CDC says currently today, suicide and drug overdose in high school age children far outweigh the death numbers of any threat of COVID. And that comes from the Director of CDC. We're going to continue to work hard to open our county. We're going to do it safely, but we need the state to not move the goalpost and allow measurables and recognize what's fair to all. Those are my comments. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Levingood. My name is Supervisor Janice Rutherford, and I'm here today to talk with you, as my colleagues have, about what we need to do to get San Bernardino County reopened. We all want to see our kids back in school. We all want to get back to our houses of worship. We want our small businesses and our big businesses to be able to open and get our economy moving again. This is about all of us wanting the same thing, getting back to work, back to our lives, but doing so in a healthy, responsible way. The bottom line is the state has told us what the criteria is to let us get to that point. We met the criteria. You heard Supervisor Hagman say on September 28th we met it. But then we fell into a category that the state has created that penalizes our county when we don't get enough people tested. We are penalized if we don't test enough. And so I'm here today to ask you, no matter what your personal beliefs about testing, no matter what your political position on COVID is, that you help us as neighbors get reopened. We need 900 to 1,000 more tests per day to make that happen, to meet the state criteria, to avoid the state penalty. If we don't do that, we're going to stay in purple. So to help us get reopened, I'm pleading with you today to go get tested. Testing is easy and it's free. It's no longer the tickle the brain with the Q-tip testing, so you don't have to worry about that if that was your fear. You don't have to have symptoms. In fact, we need people who are asymptomatic to be tested because ideally then you're negative and we drive our negative tests up, which helps meet the state criteria. And also, if you are asymptomatic but test positive, then you'll know and our contact tracers will know so that we can keep you from exposing other people. We have made it as easy as possible to get tested. I emphasize again, it's free. And as of next week, the county will have 20 locations that you can drive through and be tested. You can find those locations and make an appointment at www.sbcovid19.com, or if you'd prefer to call, 909-387-3911. You can schedule your testing appointment today, and in doing so, you'll be helping yourself, your neighbors, and our entire county reopen quickly. If you have any questions, give any of your supervisors a call. We'd be happy to help you with this. It's my pleasure now to introduce my colleague, 3rd District Supervisor Don Rao.
Thank you, Supervisor Rutherford. At the risk of repeating some of what we've heard today, I am going to state again, because of the importance, how crucial it is to have testing. The SB COVID-19 pandemic is wreaking havoc on our small businesses throughout our county. With your help, we can end the business closures by increasing our daily testing numbers. I personally signed up online at SB COVID-19, and I was tested at Copper Mountain College. The entire process was quick and easy, and as Supervisor Rutherford said, it was painless. Even if you're asymptomatic, your COVID-19 test results will boost our numbers so we can qualify to move into the governor's red tier. By moving into the less restrictive red tier, indoor dining, churches, weddings, movie theaters, gyms, our colleges and universities can all resume limited indoor operations. Whether you agree with the governor's reopening plan or not, the only way to lessen the impact of his mandate is to get tested. Now I would like to introduce Supervisor Josie Gonzalez. Thank you.
What we all need to do together. We know that testing will help open our economy much faster. We also know that having get-togethers with family and friends brings about a higher risk of not being able to go down from the purple tier into the red tier. 50% of the new cases were tied to get-togethers over Labor Day, and some of those were clustered in cities that I represent, so I take this very personally. It's these new cases that kept us from moving to the red tier. I know it's been more than 6 months, and I know how difficult it is when you have loved ones, when you have grandparents, when you have birthdays, when you have anniversaries, when you see time passing by and you're not able to partake in what ultimately will be moments that are lost. And I know that you all want to spend time with your families, no different than we do. We want to spend time with our friends. We want to spend time with our families. And how do we make that happen? We make it happen by sacrificing just a little bit longer to ensure the fact that our positive numbers come down. We want our children back in school. I know we do. And if we want to eat inside of our favorite restaurants, and if we want to attend church inside again, we have to limit our get-togethers, at least for now. I am pleading with you. It is imperative that we at home be patient, that we realize what our priorities are, and that is to reopen our economy, get our children back in school, and I'm pleading with you to help us get to lower positive numbers. And I know that it's not just us as supervisors that are asking you. It's not just us that are asking you as politicians. We're asking you as people, as your neighbors, as your friends, everyday run-of-the-mill people. That's who we are as the 5 supervisors. We carry a great deal of responsibility, and just as we want to bring you good news of reopening our businesses and our schools, so too do we want to stop giving you bad news. Please, help us at this time. We're asking you to join us in our effort to reopen our economy. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Dan Muncy, your fire chief. I want to echo Supervisor Rutherford's comments. I think she hit the nail on the head when she talked about the community staying safe. And Supervisor Rao was spot on when she talked about us being part of a team. I understand teams well as I watch our firefighters battle large fires. Thank God we just pulled all our resources off the El Dorado and have been able to contain that fire. Our team of responders come in countless contact with people every day. I'm concerned as a fire chief that we don't know who has COVID and who does not. There's many asymptomatic carriers out there. Those are the carriers that don't know that they're sick, that they're not showing COVID symptoms. The only way that we can know if you are a carrier or if you have COVID is if you're testing. Speaking of testing, besides being your fire chief, I'm a father and I'm a husband too. And I like going to businesses that are open. I hate seeing the businesses close. And I like my children going to school in person and not doing it online. I also have another reason for wanting to see these businesses closed. As you're well aware, a lot of the revenue that this fire department receives is from our tax base. And when you close the local economy, we're not getting the revenue that we need to fight the fires that are coming as we enter into the fire season. Testing is the only way to reopen our economy. I've been personally tested several times. Why would I get tested several times? Because my job is important and I want to make sure I'm not getting our first responders sick. And I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Please go get tested. Even if you don't think you're sick, it's even more important that you get tested so we can get our numbers lower so we can reopen our economy. You can make an appointment by going to sbcovid19.com, and testing is free. It's very easy. And besides washing your hands, social distancing, it's the very least that you can do for our communities. Thank you. Chairman Hagan.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, my fellow board members, and thank you all for watching and listening today. To be frank, we're very frustrated. We're very frustrated that we got very, very close, and we were hoping for the news yesterday was to say we're in red tier to open up the county of San Bernardino. And because of activities that we had over Labor Day and a few other small areas like that, we just went right over the top. We were at 7.5% with the adjusted rate. And frankly, if we had the testing, if everyone's doing their testing, we would have been at 7.1, and we just need to be at 7 to say we're open yesterday. That's how close we were. And put in perspective, we were at 23% from the 4th of July bump. So many of you are doing the right things. Many of you are being very careful, wearing your mask, heeding what we're saying, and doing your best. Our businesses that are suffering, really, really suffering. I've heard numbers of 1 in 6 businesses may be shutting down right now. We get this. We're frustrated with you. We are frustrated at the state giving us the rules that we have right now. And we are advocating on behalf of you and our businesses within the county to try to open up differently and to open up quickly. But we need your partnership and need your help to do that. The one thing is keep following the rules. Please wear your mask. Please watch your group gatherings. Like it was stated, over close to 60% of our spread right now in the county are from group and friend gatherings. When you think you're safe among your friends or your family members, when you get together and have that barbecue, that's when our community spread's going on. So you could do those things, but do so wisely. Do so just like you were out in the public, wearing your mask and keeping your physical distance. Okay, we don't want you to not see your family, obviously, but do so in a wise way. We're gonna do what we can to open up more and more locations so it's easier for you to get to testing. We want you all to be tested, and you can do it more than once, and that counts for us. And we're so close. But as of 2 days ago, we had to start the clock again for another 2 weeks. And I really want us to open up in 2 weeks. We really want to come back to you and say 2 weeks from yesterday that we're in the red tier, not the purple tier anymore. So please help us get tested. Watch what you do. Hang in there tight with us, okay, as we all are very frustrated, very over COVID, but we need to do the right thing until we finish this and we start opening and we keep that spread down in the county. Please get more information at sbcovid19.com. You can sign up. You can contact any of our offices for more information. We have a lot of other programs. We're trying to do what we can to support our business and our community, our schools, our cities, and everything else to survive this 100-year event. But it does take us as a team effort to make that happen. Thank you very much for joining us today, and please stay tuned to our website for more additional information coming forward. Thank you.